overload. Today we have two time travelers from ancient Israel who should be arriving soon.
Whoosh! Ow!
Ah! Are you alright?
Yes, we're okay.
Will you please have a seat?
Sure.
But as always, don't you tell us your names?
I'm Talia. And I'm Sharia.
Okay, time travelers, would you mind telling us about the religions you encountered on your trip?
Of course, in ancient Israel, they believed in a god called Hebu, who showed special compassion to their ancestors Abraham, Israel, Jacob, and their descendants. They believed that their God saved them from slavery through Moses, who led them to the wilderness of Sinai to a promised land that would be their own. They practiced animal sacrifice and the Ten Commandments.
That looks like they had a pretty interesting religion. Talia, would you mind telling us about their society?
They had 5 different social classes. Pharaoh, which was the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, and the slaves and servants. First, let's focus on Pharaoh. Pharaoh is the highest rank or class in ancient Israel. Pharaoh is a king. The decision the Pharaoh made was considered final, and no man had the right to question officials. Most of these were the people who owned land in Israel and were quite wealthy people. They were also army officials and government officials. Mostly these people were people who were born in Israel. Thirdly, the middle class included merchants and artisans. They were provided with some rights and authority, but not much compared to the upper class. They definitely led a better life than the lower class and far better than the servants and slaves. The lower class includes unskilled laborers and farmers. These people possesses very few rights.
I can take it from here, Talia. Slaves and servants were allowed to do one thing in their life, and that was serve their owner. They were provided rights of no value. Slaves had a worse lifestyle than their servants. Slaves were brought by their owner as one might buy an animal.
Wow, those slaves really had it hard. Do you mind telling us about the environment, Shira?
Ancient Israel is a very dry place, and it had a dry season and a wet season. The temperatures ranged from about 40 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, or 4 to 29 degrees Celsius. Ancient Israel had fertile lands because of all the rivers passing through their lands. Israel also had many mountains on its lands, as well as the many large bodies of water, including the Sea of Galilee, Jordan River, and the Red Sea.
Now, we've already heard about the society, but let's hear about the government.
Of course, ancient Israel had a government called parliamentary democracy. The king of Israel was not an absolute monarch by tradition. The king was required to obey the laws of Torah, which were both religious laws and secular laws.
What does secular mean?
Secular means it is not concerned with religion and is the opposite of sacred. According to the political theory, the government was split into 3 powers. The crown of kingship, also known as Keter Malshet, the crown of priesthood, known as Keter Kenua, and the crown of Torah, known as Keter Torah. According to this theory, power was shared between a monarch, a priest, and a prophet. Unfortunately, we were unable to get close enough to prove if this theory is correct or not. What we do know is the Israelites formed a loose confederation of 12 tribes national leaders called judges, emerged from a time-to-time deal with particular crisis. However, by the time 1000 BCE, Israelites formed a kingdom under the famous King David.
That's amazing. It sounds like they had an amazing government. I wonder what arts they made in their lifetime.
The people of ancient Israel made many arts, but most weren't for fun. Like today, they made pottery. They had a purpose, like to hold oil, water, food, and wine. They decorated their pots with clay. They also polished and painted the pots. They also started making statues, relief seals, and signature rings. Now, you probably don't know what the signet rings are. Signet rings are worn by the rulers so they could seal a piece of wax or clay to a paper to prove it was approved by the monarch. The sculptures were made, or they were used to decorate important buildings. They used ivory wood and basalt to make the sculptures. Reliefs were used to debate rulers. And I had learned that there is a museum of art in the Jerusalem, Israel.
Wow, I'm going to put that on my places to go. Now, I know they must have traded somehow, but what were the economics?
Israel was a great trade center with much diverse trading. This was because there were many trade routes going through it. The fact that Israel was close to many countries allowed their economics to flourish. Israel had a stock market and a currency called shekel, and as most ancient civilizations traded throughout themselves.
That's amazing. But with all this trading, someone must have made some awesome science and technology discoveries.
They did have a written language called Hebrew, which is still spoken today and is known as the oldest language to date that is still currently used.
Wow, that sounds complicated. But did they create anything exciting?
They actually did create the sandwich and glass.
Wow, that's so cool. I wish I could follow you on your travels. That's all on the ancient world. Have a great day.
Wait. We kind of brought a little gift from Israel.
Yeah, we made
It's
some